What's up, guys? Welcome back. Oh man, it's a beautiful day. Sunday, right? At the start of the week. Oh man, I've been having a good weekend so far. What about you guys? Drop down a comment below and tell me how your weekend has been going. Mine has been great. I've got to say, I've did some pretty fun stuff yesterday and had a good night, and now I'm up now and making YouTube videos. So yeah, today I just wanted to I had something on my mind that I wanted to share with you guys, and it was about habits, specifically habits that I think, like some of the best habits that I've picked up over the years that I think is beneficial to everyone. And I would say the best habit, the one habit to rule them all, the one habit that made me feel invincible mentally, physically, emotionally, all that. Spiritually, invincible. The one habit was running. Yes, running. I know it sounds simple. I know it sounds kind of weird, but running has been the single best one habit that made me feel unstoppable. Absolutely. I mean, running, it's what I started out with. It's the habit that made me start self-improvement in the first place. And it's also the habit that made me closer to God as a result. I actually had this conversation with my parents a few days ago when we were out for dinner. And I told them, for the longest time I was atheist. I didn't really believe in any higher power or anything. But I told them, once I got into athletics, once I got into physical development, physical culture, if you will, bodybuilding, running, and just general sports, that unlocked a part of my brain that I didn't really know was there. It unlocked the competitive aspect of me. It unlocked the intellectual and intuitive, philosophical side of me. It unlocked the part of me that was dormant for such a long time. I didn't really know why I was here. I didn't know why, or what I was, born to do, or what have you. And I think a lot of young guys go through that. But what I will say, when I started athletics, specifically running, that tapped into parts of me that I didn't know existed. It allowed me to tap into things, part of my brain that said there was more to this than what meets the eye. For a long time, I took everything literally. I was very left brain dominant, very linear thinking. For a while, I just didn't really believe in any spiritual sides of things. I didn't, I don't know, it just was an inclination, if that makes sense. But through athletics, through running, through bodybuilding, I resurrected that power within me. I resurrected that vitality in me. And eventually I learned more about philosophy and all the great thinkers of the past. And that really just skyrocketed me to a whole different realm of wisdom and the sort. But yeah, it started with athletics. It started with the body rather than the mind. Okay, I did running. Running was, I did it for over 10 years and still do it now, on occasion. But for the longest part of my life, ever since I was a kid to now, I've always ran. I've always felt, it always felt natural to me. And that was what skyrocketed me to where I am today, with the amount of wisdom I hold, with the knowledge I possess, and the actions that I take. All of that kind of stemmed from athletics and building my body up. But it started with the body. It didn't start with the mind. I didn't go to church. I didn't go to any therapy or anything. I was me in this world, So I had to do something. I had to go out and try different things. And so one of the things was running. I was very fast. Okay. Um, I could sprint really fast, but I can also do long distance. So I had both of those strengths with me. I could go, I could run across the playground in less than 60 seconds. Like I was, maybe that's exaggerated, but I was fast. Like it just came natural to me. And so, but there was a time where, I didn't really know, how it fit in and stuff. I was kind of like friends with pretty much everyone. I didn't really have one clique, I guess, but I was friends with a lot of the other athletes and runners who did the same thing as me. We did sprinting, we did all those kind of other sports. We did long distance. I mean, I had a bit of everything in me, and again, like running, all that, it really just skyrocketed me to a whole different realm. And that's the one habit that I think everyone should at least try out. Or if you have, if it really hurts your joints, then try something different, right? But if you're relatively lean and you're just trying to just get out of your own head and you're in a rut or something, go for a run. Go for a run every day, or at least, every other day, and just go. Don't bring your phone. Don't listen to music. I mean, you can do those things if you want, but I think it kind of takes away some of the mental aspects that you go through while you're running. Okay, that's one habit I think everyone can do at least a few times a week, because it really just resets you. Running resets your mind. It resets to baseline, but that baseline is heightened because you ran. Okay, I remember waking up at 5:30 every morning in the cold dark in the winter in prep of track season, right? I remember waking up every day, or almost every day, but pretty much every day, and I went for a run, and it was dark, it was cold, it was snowy. I wasn't really running that fast, but the roads were dampened down to where I could run. So I did it. I bundled up and just went out and ran. So I did that in the winter. And I get back at like 6:30, 7 o'clock after my run. So I'd go out for like 30, 40, maybe even 60 minutes if I did a long run in the morning. And I get back at like 7 o'clock, shower up, whatever, eat, and get out 7:30, 7:40. And I was good, That's kind of like what I did for quite a long time. Or at least it was one season where I did that. I was running twice a day, getting that baseline endurance down. I'm not saying you have to do it. If you want to, go for it, but I'm just telling you it's a bit of a challenge to do that every day and get other things done. But I was so focused then. I didn't really have many things to do outside of school at that point. I talked to, had fun with my friends, like kind of like before we did practice, and then after practice I'd come home, do homework, and I didn't really do, I didn't really go out that much, So I was very focused, that was just my life, right? And again, I'm not saying you should do that or have to do it like that, But I'm just saying, like, running in general, just go out like either in the morning or at night, but like I prefer it in the morning just because it kickstarts that engine. You go down to baseline, but that baseline is heightened because your mind is now fresh. You don't wake up with your phone, you're not scrolling. You just got up, hopped out of bed, put on your shorts, put on your running shoes, got your watch or whatever, whatever you use to record your workout, and you go out and run. That's all it was. I didn't really focus on anything else but that. And that really, really helped me learn how to become more comfortable with myself. It helped me become more in tune with what I was capable of, but also expanded me to more horizons, on where I could go, where I could be, right? And just in general, like running kind of stimulates that need for exploration, especially as a guy. I think every guy out there will know what I'm saying, but you want to go on adventures, you want to go on side quests, you want to have fun with the boys, right? There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's amazing. Okay, it means you have some life force within you. You're not just like, oh yeah, I'll do nothing all day. Like, no, you want to go do something, and that's good. You need that adventure. I remember in cross country, we'd go in the woods and we'd find a fort in the woods. I mean, we built one ourselves back here in my backyard, but if they come over and hang out, but no, we just run around town. Coach would be like, hey, just go run around town and come back in 30 minutes. So I was like, all right, we'll just go wherever. And so we did. We didn't have any single route. I mean, some days we'd obviously have like a long run route and all that, but other days they just told us, hey, go out and run. All right, screw off. Like, we don't want you here. Go away. Go for a run. And so we did. And it was fun. Very fond memories. Very fond memories. And, I think there's a lot of conflict apparently there's some conflict between running and lifting community or something. I don't know. I've done both, and I think both are great. In fact, I think they're complementary, if anything. Yeah, I think they're complementary because you guys are both pushing yourselves, right? It's both a sport. It's both a way to physically express yourself, right? All right. Lifting is great. I love lifting. I do it, every week, obviously, right? And running, I do it every week, or at least I'm trying to get back to it again. But, running was just, it was perfect for my mind. It was very mental, more than anything else. Like, yeah, physical, like you're physically exerting yourself to its absolute limit. That's where I took it. I took it to the greatest limit I can. Imagine trying to do a wall sit for, 18, 20 minutes straight. That's kind of how it felt. It's maybe not to that extent, but it felt like that. Try doing that for like a perfect wall sit for about 20 minutes. All right, have fun. I'm just saying, have fun. It was that kind of level of mental fortitude that I think not many, like, it's such an easy and accessible physical activity that, but you can scale it to such a high extent like I did, where you used it to amplify your mental fortitude, your mental discipline, your strength, your resilience, your endurance, to go that extra mile. That's what it really is about. And I don't really think many people understand that. Yeah, sure, you have got your contact sports and combat sports and all that really are difficult. I'm not saying running is harder than those. Those are way harder. But running has its own unique feel to it that other sports I don't think have. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Lifting has its own set of difficulties that other sports don't have. Everything has its unique thing. And I think if you can combine those aspects into your daily routine, or at least weekly routine, I think it'd be a much better place. So if you're trying to get out of a rut, if you're trying to get out of your head sometimes and just trying to grind through some stuff, go for a run. Go for a run in the morning, all right, and come back and take a cold shower, okay? I know cold showers are overrated, but just do it, all right? It's great for just getting out of your head and just doing something uncomfortable. That's the biggest thing here, all right? As a lifter who, likes to have fun and stuff, like, it's like, you could just take a cold shower in the morning and that's it. Well, it'll just, like, boom. It just makes you, it makes you alert. It makes you awake. That's what you need. You need that in the morning. You need that kickstart in the morning. You can add some coffee if you want. You can do it before, you can after. I don't really care. But just the act of just going out there and just getting some shit done, man. Going out there and getting your hands dirty. That's what you want to do. It's the single most best habit that I've done. It's the habit to rule them all, in my book. Maybe it's different for you, but just grinding it out, all right? Doing some hard shit in the morning. That's all it's about. That's all it's about, and I think every man would benefit from it if they tried to make running more consistent in their weekly habit. Absolutely. Hands down. The best thing, I'd say. The best habit that I've certainly implemented in my life. And I was doing that every single day, all right? Do something difficult every day. Do some hard shit every day, bro. That's all it is. Do something difficult every day. Because the moment you let up and say, hey, I'm going to skip this. Hey, I'm going to take it easy. The moment you have that voice in your head that says you don't want to do it, even though you have the time, you have that thing going for you, the moment you let up, it's going to be a lot difficult to go back, okay? And I'm not saying don't live. Go have fun, live, enjoy, have both extremes, right? But make sure you have that base. Make sure you have that base of discipline, all right? That's the biggest thing I recommend for if you're a beginner, if you're trying to go into this self-improvement thing or what have you, or even if you're just an intermediate and you're trying to get that fire back, things have become stale and boring sometimes, and like, dude, just get outside and go for a freaking run. Like, if you're a powerlifter, go for a run. If you're a heavyweight guy and been wrestling all your life, and just go for a run. If you're already a runner, do the opposite. Go lift some weights. Do something that moves your body in a way that you're really not used to, okay? If you've done MMA and stuff like that, go for a run, all right? It's like a different kind of challenge for each part. So if you're one, try to do the few other stuff. If you're a lifter, go, try those different kind of avenues and ways to move your body, all right? Do yoga for all I care. Yoga's difficult as hell. I'm the first one to say that, okay? I mean, I've gone to some class, occasionally, but like I went to a few classes once, and the instructor there, was the woman there. She was like, yeah, we've had like big football players come in here and they're struggling. Like, yeah, I bet. Like, you move your body in completely different fashion that you're used to. It's the same thing with running. You're not used to all that, pounding on the ground all the time. You're not used to that mental aspect to it. You're not, if you haven't lifted all your life, yeah, it's going to feel weird. Yeah, if you haven't done like MMA or jiu-jitsu or kickboxing or any of that, like, yeah, it's going to feel weird this start. But I've tried those things, and it's all very unique. So yeah, be specialized, but also try different things. Try new things. Go out and just put yourself in certain like difficult scenarios. That's the best thing you can do. That's the best habit I can tell you, is do something difficult every single day. That's my new mantra, is push yourself, do something difficult every day. All right? But that being said, I think that's a good time to stop the video. Guys have any questions, or if you just want to comment or anything like that, please do so. And yeah, have a great Sunday. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.